Hi there, viewers of Equinoxe Television, 6 p.m. by 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of the news. We begin right away with our major stories. Cameroon remains one of the most corrupt countries in Africa and also in the world, reason for which the Anti-Corruption Commission in Cameroon is seeking ways of reversing that trend. CONAC has also created another strategy to combat corruption. It is known as the Anti-Corruption Clinic. We will be telling you more about that in this newscast, and also in this edition of the news, we take you to Yassa in the $3 area where insecurity is set to be on the rise and disorder is reigning in that locality. Stay with us for details and more. Welcome back, viewers. We begin this edition of the news in Yassa. Yassa is a locality in the Douala 3 subdivision of the Littoral region. Our reporters who made a stop over in Yassa today say insecurity is reigning in Yassa and disorder is also on the rise. This is because of the lack of street lights in that area. Our reporter Lucy Liengu Esia made a stop over at Yassa. This is what she saw and heard.
The presence of this clandestine park in Yassa Douala 3 subdivision, according to inhabitants, has brought a lot of insecurity in the locality. Locals say a day hardly goes by without an incident.
Nous vivons des scènes ahurissantes ici avec cette gare qui s'est créée là.
We live in fear with the creation of this park. A lot of things are going on here. Many tend to minimize it. People are being attacked here every day. We have drivers here who exercise a lot of brutality. Even council workers are not left out. So I think this has favored a lot of insecurity in this area. To me, this park is not supposed to be here. It really disturbs. Sometimes while passing, you hear someone calling. You don't know who, but we see frightful faces here. This is very serious.
Parce que vous interpellez, vous ne savez pas qui ils sont. Ils sont visiblement très affreux.
Others on their part say the clandestine motor park along the road has created traffic congestion. We face a lot of difficulties every day, accidents here and there. If the council could help increase the size of the road, it would be great. But every day we see them instead collecting money from these women who sell here. It really contributes to nothing. The presence of the park is not just causing insecurity, but contributing to the littering of death around. Inhabitants complain it is affecting their health. Workers of these parks say it's been 5 years since its creation, and this has been their only source of income. They are calling on the authorities concerned to see into creating a park when necessary.
Lucille Yengo is here reporting on clandestine parks in Yassa leading to insecurity. And talking about insecurity, Immaculate Fogwe in the report which comes up next tells us that insecurity is said to be on the rise, and also disorder is reigning still in Yassa in the Douala 3 area. She says it is because of the absence of electricity and also security posts. They are urging the government to see into that plight. Let's now have more with Immaculate Fogwe.
Insecurity is gaining grounds in the Carrefour Yassa neighborhood, Douala 3 subdivision. Due to this, inhabitants and those doing business there say they have been living in fear. Consequently, shop owners close their shops early while others are planning to leave the neighborhood. I have been a victim 2 or 3 times. They have tried seizing my phone, but luckily I managed to escape. I have never been a victim, but I have relatives who have been attacked. Their handbags, purses, phones and other valuable items have been seized by robbers. Something needs to be done to address this problem. According to locals, these bandits take advantage of traffic jam and the absence of street lights to attack their victims. Some of those we interviewed were so scared of denouncing their activities for fear of being attacked again. The population are urging the government to step up the presence of the forces of law and order in the area.
And now, still talking about the structures or the state of roads in Cameroon, we now take you to the central region of the country, where inhabitants of Yokosi life in that subdivision used to be unbearable before the construction of the road linking Yoko and Lena in the National Road number 15. A reporter from Me Armstrong Sander tells us that Yoko lived in staggering enclavement for over 50 years. Let's have his report.
Naturally placed on the strategic National Road number 15, being one of the largest subdivisions in Cameroon, Yoko in the Bam and Kim Division, Central Region of Cameroon, didn't know a tarred road for over 50 years.
Pendant 50 ans, on n'avait jamais suivi.
Mayor Dieudonné Ani of Yoko Council says Yoko lived in endurance throughout the period. A period of endurance that had an unbearable say on movement and economic activities between Yoko and Tibati.
On faisait les 4 heures, 5 heures du temps pour arriver à Yoko.
Musa Kome, a driver on the Tibati-Yoko Strait, says the bad road got them spending over 5 to 6 hours from Yoko to Tibati and vice versa. A time and energy-consuming exercise which was also very expensive, according to trader Nubitang Azog, who says they used to pay 6,000 francs CFA for the journey, which now costs 3,000 francs.
Je sais pas combien de collectivités.
The mayor says Yoko is a symbol of patience and they are happy to have the road constructed now with its accompanying advantages.
On n'avait jamais suivi qu'il y a une étincelle ici. On attendait notre tour et notre tour est arrivé.
From darkness to light, locals say Yoko is now bidding farewell to enclavement and underdevelopment with the completion of construction works on the Yoko-Lena stretch of the National Road number 15. Throughout over 60 kilometers, locals say movement and by extension, economic activities have been facilitated. Away from works on the main stretches, locals say secondary stretches have been tarred with beautiful structures raised in the town of Yoko. The journey between Yoko and Tibati now lasts 2 hours, and locals say the new road has opened the door to many opportunities which they intend to maximize.
And now we talk about this ill plaguing Cameroon, which is called corruption. Cameroon remains one of the most corrupt nations across the world. In Africa, to be more precise, the National Anti-Corruption Commission is seeking ways of reversing the trend. That is why Equinoxe has created recently another strategy called the Anti-Corruption Clinic. Babila Jonathan completes the story.
A victim of corruption presents documents backing up his complaint to investigators of the National Anti-Corruption Commission, the NAC, in Douala. The billion francs CFA matter is one of the corruption cases brought to what the NAC calls Anti-Corruption Clinic. Speaking to the press, the NAC chairman, Reverend Dr. Dieudonné Massigams, says the Anti-Corruption Clinic is intended to step up the fight against corruption in Cameroon. The fight by the National Anti-Corruption Commission, other institutions, and even Operation Sparrowhawk has been going on for several years, but the ill continues increasing and eating deep into the marrows of the Republic.
We work in collaboration with the court, and we do also investigation, and the result that we find, we give it to the court. But if we find on the field that what we called in French flagrant délit, then we go straight to the court and we give the information and evidences of that we have found so as to give sanction.
To Reverend Dr. Dieudonné Massigams, his institution is bringing the anti-corruption fight closer to the population so that they can fulfill their duties to have reduced corruption in Cameroon.
The duty is to denounce, and Equinoxe has the responsibility to go on and to do investigation and to present those who are guilty where they must go. Don't expose yourself. If you have something to tell, to say, if you have a denunciation to do, come and meet Equinoxe. you will be protected.
Ahead of December 9, set aside for the fight against corruption by the United Nations, NAC officials and experts are on the ground in Douala, tracking down corruption and those found guilty.
And now reports say at least 1 million children across the world are behind bars and usually in deplorable prison conditions, reason for which UNICEF is organizing workshops in the northern regions of Cameroon to seek reasons why children come in conflict with the law. Let's now have more with Mara Glory.
Most children behind bars are either detained for poor behavior or other crimes. To address these causes which bring children in conflict with the law was the objective of a 3-day workshop in the Far North region organized by UNICEF. This to protect their rights and guarantee a better education. To examine entirely the rights of children, this workshop has as well permitted you to identify the different ways of collaborating between you and actors in charge of juvenile justice so that the children can be well taken care of. Lawyers, security officials and civil society organizations present at the event were schooled on the effective protection of children's rights.
Protecting children who have come in conflict with the law. For some years, this initiative, as far as I know, was not really that well known. But today, we are faced with, we just concluded a 3-day workshop that has upgraded us as far as the protection of children in conflict with the law is concerned.
During the closing ceremony presided over by the representative from the Ministry of Justice, he assured the population security will be reinforced to ensure the safety of the children.
And now we stay with you in the Far North region, where a gang of suspected armed bandits have been arrested by security forces in Marwa in the Far North. They were presented to the public alongside what they stole and also other dangerous items like automatic pistols. Innocent Azer is a man on that beat.
He is not a member of the Rapid Intervention Battalion. This uniform, he says, he got from someone who helps facilitate his criminal activity, principally aggression and theft of motorbikes.
No, je pris avec quelqu'un. Je suis parti arracher la moto.
I wear it to seize bikes because there are no jobs in Cameroon.
Est-ce qu'il n'y a pas de travail au Cameroun? Il n'y a pas de travail au Cameroun. Non, je suis toute seule.
The stolen motorbikes, according to the police, are sold to 26-year-old Fadil, who dismantles them and sells the parts.
Vous avez vu tout le matériel que nous avons pu récupérer chez lui, c'est pratiquement un garage.
Yezida Musa, 32 years old, is also in the police dragnet for allegedly aiding the crime. Among the presented gang is 35-year-old Mohamed Salisu, accused of burglary. He was apprehended in possession of deadly objects, including an automatic pistol. Interrogated while he was keeping a pistol, he said, I do not know it is forbidden to buy and own a gun in Cameroon. He added he has been collaborating with the police to arrest criminals. This permitted him to buy a gun which he uses to defend himself. This operation, according to the security officers in Marwa, is just the start of a relentless move to put an end to this form of insecurity in Marwa.
From the Far North region, we take you to the West region, precisely in the Noon Division, where some suspected armed bandits also fell into the dragnet of security forces in the Noon Division. Let's now have more about the state of security or insecurity in the Noon Division with Immaculate Fogwe.
Cartridges, a pistol, SIM cards, Indian herb, daggers and the explanade of the Noon Janari Brigade. I was attacked by 4 men. They pointed a dagger on my neck, asking me to give all of my belongings. I gave them my bag, which contained money, SIM cards and my phones. After they seized my bag, I immediately called my boss and asked him to block my SIM cards because I am a mobile money operator. According to the brigade, the operation was successful thanks to the collaboration of the population.
Il s'agit d'un groupe de braqueurs qui
The alleged bandits have been operating in the town for almost 3 months now. They have reportedly attacked several persons. After they attack their victims, they go seek refuge in a village known as Mawen. The population alerted us, so while on the search operation, 3 of them escaped, but we managed to arrest one of them.
Selon les premiers éléments que j'ai reçus, leur mode opératoire était...
According to them, their modus operandi is to seize the belongings of their victims while on board their motorcycles and later escape. The population has been urged to be vigilant, especially during this end of